Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marisa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it, get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podchaser, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. I am your host, Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated, and thanks to April, hashtag relentlessly inspiring person who is here to make sure that you start your day at 8 a.m. every weekday morning as positively as possible. So on this show, there's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk. Used to be Kardashian talk. No K-words. K stood for Kardashians, but she's been doing some cool things, and she specifically helped one of my friends' nonprofit. So we don't say Kardashian anymore, but Kanye, another story. Because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And I had a great interview yesterday with the Leading Ladies podcast, and they asked, why 88%, Dr. Marissa? Why not 100% happy? Those of you who are still with me who have heard this before, because 100% happy means that you're dead. And I don't want dead people walking. We have to have some unhappiness to know what happiness is. So 88% is chosen because 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune. So it is my job, it's my mission, my Happy 88 mission, to help 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So what are we doing today? We're going to start, as usual, with taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. And what is that? If you're new to the show, gratitude is probably the easiest way to kickstart your day in the most positive way. That rhymed. So what I do is I do my gratitudes with you. And if you are streaming with me now, and I see people coming in, if you want to put them in the comment section or grab someone near you and say, we're going to take a bite of the gratitude sandwich and start with 8 specific gratitudes that you have to start your day. So I am grateful for that first amazing sip of coffee. There's just nothing like it in the morning. As well, I'm grateful that I got to do both cycling and the pool this morning to wake myself up and to work on my own behalf to get rid of some of that COVID-19 weight gain. And we're going to actually be talking about body issues today, for those of you who didn't read the promo. So if you have body issues, today is your day. I'm going to go to an interview that I had a couple months ago with someone who really has some solutions for people like me that have ongoing body image issues. So number 3, it's National Panda Day. So I love pandas. I used to want to have one growing up, and my parents, every birthday, they'd ask me what I wanted, and I said a panda, and they said no. So if you're on my social, I'll be posting panda videos that I got when I was in China, when I was in Washington, D.C. So that's my social media contribution to National Panda Day today. So if you're on Instagram, it's Doc Balance, and it's Dr. Marissa everywhere else. So please join me on my social media, and you'll get a lot of pandas today. That's 4. Gratitude number 5 is that I get to, my work is to help people feel better, but in the process of it, I feel better. All I need to do is open my mouth and do my spiel, and automatically I start feeling better. And I see a couple more eyeballs coming in. So if you'd like to chat with me, please go to the comment section, and I will. There's a link there too if you'd like to come into my virtual studio for this first segment. Also, gratitude number 6 is that I get to have a view of the ocean of abundance, and I'm so grateful for that. Number 7, that I've chosen to live in California, where the weather's almost always good. And that number 8, that I am hardworking. I was... some of you yesterday in the interview with the leading ladies, they asked me if I weren't doing what I'm doing now in my one job, what would I be doing? And for those of you who follow me, you know that I also do beat reporting, which is another job, and I get to freelance for that. I also coach. I'm a happiness coach with programs and my best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness. I also am a motivational speaker because I'm so shy. Sarcasm is another service I offer. And then I also am an organizational psychologist. So I'm grateful for all of those things. I hope you start your day grateful as well. Now, your job is tonight, I'm not coming on again to tell you to do this, but the bottom of the bun is 8 specific things that you appreciate about yourself. 8 things that you appreciate about yourself. So I appreciated last night that I got one project done with my new helper on Fiverr, and I got I was nice on the freeway, even though I wanted to yell at somebody for cutting me off. I was available for my daughter when she wanted to vent. I was honest with my other daughter about something that we haven't talked about, and I came from love. I'm on number 5. I'm grateful that I have taken all the bad things that have happened to me and turned them into silver linings in a way that I can help people. That's 6. I'm grateful that I love to sing. And 8, I'm grateful that I have the discipline to wake up early so that I can still work out before the show. So those are the 8 things that I appreciate about myself. And the reason why I want to push this as a Happy 88 tool for all of you is one of the things that we don't do well is soothe ourselves. One of the things we kind of it got left out of school is how do you feel good about yourself without looking for other people's approval? Walking around with the antenna looking for people to like you or comment positively or, put you on a pedestal. So I want you to be happy 88% of the time. And I promise that if you are disciplined about taking a bite of your gratitude sandwich every single day, gratitudes in the morning and appreciations for yourself at night, you'll begin to feel better within yourself. So that's my challenge for the day. All right. So how are we doing on time? We are about to break. So when we come back, we're going to talk about body issues, and we're going to look at solutions that I got from RTT Rapid Transformational Therapy founder, Marisa Peer. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Want delicious Vietnamese, Asian, fusion cuisine that is so good for your health you won't believe your taste buds? Olac is a 100% plant-based vegan restaurant founded by Mai on living foods and a love for animals that won't make you sacrifice taste for health. 2 locations to delight you, downtown LA and Fountain Valley. So go to www.olac.com, AULAC, to book your reservation today. Saving the planet has never tasted so good. Are you having a tough time feeling happy about what's going on around you? Do you want to work with someone who knows how to choose happiness no matter how fluxed up things are? Then contact Dr. Marissa, best-selling author of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. And that wherever includes the middle of a pandemic, because pain in life is mandatory, but suffering is optional. There is hope and happiness for you right now, especially now. Schedule your Zoom Get Happy session at www.drmarissa.life today. Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm on a happy 88 mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I'm delighted to tell you that we are opening our phone lines again on my show. If you want some happiness coaching for questions about your relationships that are driving you crazy, or should I stay, should I go, or your health and wellness, or I hate my job, then you've come to the right place. Just call 888-909-1050 on my show. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show between 8 and 9 weekday mornings. And I'll be happy to help you up-level your happiness, because pain in life is mandatory, but suffering from it is optional. Does the news scare you in the morning? I actually take my phone and plug it in outside of my bed, because I know that when I pick it up first thing in the morning, that more often than not, what I'm swiping is not good news. Some of us have forgotten that we can actually use the most powerful tool we have, called choice, to choose whether to listen to the news or not, or where we get our news. So that's why I'm so delighted to invite you to my show, 8 a.m. every weekday morning, called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show that focuses on hope and happiness and solutions to problems, instead of just ranting and raving about what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with people. Instead, I want you to find out what is good about you, good about the world, and good about our ability to be human kind. So please join me at 8 a.m. every weekday morning for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marisa Pei.
And welcome back. You are tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We've had a nice uptick of subscribers, and we're almost at 250,000 views. So I'm hoping that by my 9-year anniversary, May 1st, 2022 will be at that mark. And you can also, when you free subscribe, not only get my shows as they drop first thing in the morning, you will also access for free for my red carpet playlist. I have wonderful interviews on the red carpet with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, Nicholas Spark, gold medal winners, Melissa Etheridge. So all of that is available on my YouTube channel. And I'm excited at the end of the show today, it is time for National Sleep Awareness Week. Did you know that 54 million Americans suffer from a sleep disorder and many are undiagnosed? So I have a specialist, Dr. Carlos Nunez from ResMed. He explains what is and why it's important to get quality sleep and how it affects your mental and physical health. So you'll want to stay tuned for that at the end of today's show. They'll be calling in. And I promised that we would talk about body issues today. And if you've just joined and you have similar experiences, then I would love for you to comment. You can also call in at 888-909-1050, and I'll get your questions or your absolute empathy at what you are going to see now. So a couple of months ago, I got to interview someone really special. We had both shared a stage at Secret Knock. My friend, Dr. Greg Reed, runs this Yahoo Finance calls it the #1 business conference, and I met her there. They actually played her promo before me because our names are so close. But take a listen to this. And
Peer is the creator of the multi-award-winning RTT Rapid Transformational Therapy and founder of an IamEnough.com, international best-selling author, motivational speaker, personal development expert, and leading celebrity therapist. She has over 3 decades of experience as a therapist and has been named Best British Therapist by Men's Health magazine and featured in Tatler's Guide to Britain's 250 Best Doctors. Marissa uses her experience of treating clients, including rock stars, CEOs, elite Olympic athletes, royalty, and Oscar-winning actors to inform her life-changing speeches and lectures. She has been voted best speaker at numerous conferences, including the Mastermind Group London and the Women in Business Super Conference, Awesomeness Fest 2015, and the Royal Society of Medicine in 2015 as well. Marissa launched her Rapid Transformational Therapy training program. To date, she has trained more than 10,000 students all over the world. Please welcome to my studio, Marisa Peer. So I know better. And when people say, oh, you don't look fat, or you don't look like you've gained weight, and I'll say, yeah, but that's because I know how to dress. And if I take my clothes off, you're going to run away screaming. So I know better than to say that, but I say it anyways because I love a laugh, because laughter is my favorite sound in the whole world. I also know that the expectation that I look like I did when I was modeling, did 8 years of that, and have pictures as proof that I was super skinny and I won some beauty contests, and people will see the picture in my house and say, is that you? And I'll, want to kill them because it makes me feel bad. So I feel like I should take those off. I still remember when I had my divorce diet. I lost 40 pounds in 6 months because I just stopped eating. And I know that I looked too gaunt and not good. But in my head, I remember looking down at all the bones sticking out and wearing a size 20 True Religion jean and saying, I look so good. And I know in my head that there's something messed up. So help me.
It's so sad for women that our self-esteem is linked to what we look like. What do you weigh? What size are you? And these numbers, what is the number on your birth certificate? What's the number on the scales? What's the number in your clothes? What's the number in your bank account? What's the number of followers you have? And we're getting so consumed with the numbers. And that's the wrong question. We're judging ourselves by, if I'm thinner, you will like me more. If I'm not thinner, I might look like someone who's out of control. And the problem with weight, and it's so unfair, is that, you could have a problem with spending, you could have a problem with prescription medication, but nobody knows. But when you walk through the world carrying excess weight, people judge you, oh, look at that person, they're weak. They don't have any control. And it's just wrong, because this whole, dieting has only become a problem since the media started to promote these images of super skinny women who've got, fat hair and tiny thighs. And we go, well, but I've got fat thighs and tiny hair, so clearly I'm getting it all terribly wrong. And the question shouldn't be, I feel better when I'm thin, but why do I feel better when I'm thin? Because I believe that society likes me more thin. And you have to go, I like myself, because my biggest challenge with all of this is that it's all about abuse. I'm going to do a punishing workout today. I'm going to do the plank, 600 sit-ups, run in the rain. Then I'm going to punish my body. I'm going to deprive it of everything, celery juice and a bit of cottage cheese. And the whole dieting industry is based on abuse. Hate my body, punish my body, deprive myself of what I like. And they go, oh, I've been good today. I didn't eat. I've been bad today. I had cake. And the only way to have a body you love is to start with loving the body you have. Love your body so much. You think, I'm not putting donuts in my body. That's abusive. I'm not going to start the day with Pop-Tarts and Diet Coke because it's abusive. We also do, but I love food. I love cake and pizza and beer, but that's not love. That's abuse. So whatever you're doing, is that abusive or is that kind? Is that abusive or is that love? And I've seen in my 34 years as a therapist, when I can get a client to love their body, because if you had a baby, you wouldn't think, I'm going to give this baby a can of Coke and a packet of Pringles for breakfast because they're so yummy. You think, oh no, this little baby is so pure and they need organic broccoli and some really healthy food. And the more you can love who you are, the more you start to treat your body with love and respect. And when you just do one loving thing for your body, it starts to do incredibly loving things for you. And that's a little complicated because it means you've got to unravel this whole let me starve myself, let me be good, let me be slim. Slim is good, fat is bad, cake is terrible. And of course, you have to understand your psyche and human psychology, which means that we want what we can't have. The minute you go, I can't have cake, you want cake. Many years ago, I was doing an anti-yeast diet and I was in Spain. And I couldn't have any form of sugar at all. So in the morning, I could have a huge steak and I could have a coffee made entirely with almond milk and even cream. But all I wanted was a fresh peach and some berries. I wanted juicy stuff so badly. And I could have eaten tons of steak and fish and cream, but I didn't want that. I wanted what I couldn't have. And so instead of saying, I can't have it, which makes you want it more, you have to say the magic words, which really work. I have chosen to be super healthy, and I've chosen to feel good. I've chosen to have berries instead of cake, but I've chosen to love that, because when you go, I can't have cake, your mind goes, but you want it. So let me ramp up the desire so you have so much cake and more cake because it's so forbidden. When you go, hey, I can have cake. I've got 70 years to eat cake. When I'm 95, I'm going to eat loads of cake right now. I'm choosing to be healthy. I'm choosing to treat my body with love, and I'm choosing to feel great. And for me, that was a game changer, to look at chocolate and go, I can eat that. I've got 70 years to eat that. But I'm choosing to treat my body with respect. And when I'm 95, I may knock myself out with chocolate. But right now, I'm choosing to feel great about saying I actually prefer berries, or I prefer an apple with some almond butter on it. And I couldn't keep chocolate in my house. I couldn't even keep marmalade or honey in my house because it controlled me. And then I began to say, no, I control me. I'm not controlled by cookies or ice cream and all the stuff I couldn't keep in my house. And I can keep in my house because the opposite of love is not hate. It is complete and utter indifference. So I really invite you to start saying, wow, I love my body.
Problem though, Marissa, is as soon as I say I look in the mirror and I go, I love my body, and it's the huge BS. You know, it's like, come on, you cannot, it's not possible. Look at these roles, look at the evidence of not working out, and it's, I know it's affecting. I don't feel like dating. I don't feel like, because I'm afraid. I actually had a guy, one of my past guests, and I told him, you know, and he's a bodybuilder and he looks fabulous. And I told him, I said, I could never date. He asked if I was single. I said, I could not date you because I would be so body insecure. And his response was, we can keep the lights low. And I was like insulted because I'm like, wow, I didn't think that was going to be a solution. But anyways, go ahead.
Yes, you know, because you're coming up against years and years of condition. You wake up and the first thing you go is, oh, look at the thighs, look at the stomach, look at this. And of course, whatever you look for, you will find. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. And it's very important to not do that. You know, I had cancer several years ago, and I swore that when I survived it, I would never, ever berate my body. I made a deal. If you get through this and keep me alive, then I will never criticize you or go, oh, no, you know, the arms need a bit of toning. The stomach's not what it was. The butt's, that's not really peachy anymore. I'd just be so grateful that I had a body. And that's really worked for me, but you don't have to get to that level. You've got to imagine if your best friend woke up naked, you went, oh my God, look at your thighs. Oh my God, you need to go to the gym. Wow, you need to work out. You look awful. You would never say that to your friend because they'd probably burst into tears and go, hey, you know what? I don't want a friendship with you anymore. So you've got to speak to yourself the way you speak to your friend. If you look in the mirror and start saying something like, gosh, my eyes, aren't they nice and shiny? I got lovely hair. I'm a kind person, because you're seeing yourself through a lens of what's wrong with you. And of course, when you look for what's wrong with you, guess what? You will find so much of it. When you look for what's right with you, you'll find that too. And I was with one of my friends saying, when I met my wife, he said she was walking in front of me, he said, and her thighs were rubbing together. It was the sexiest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I was mesmerized by these thighs almost sparking. And she had a big butt. And I just thought, I got to have that woman. They've been married for 35 years. Because, you know, one man's meat is another man's poison. People say, no, I love a little roll of flesh over the top of stockings. I find that so sexy. Look at Marilyn Monroe, Beyonce. The women that we find super hot are not skinny. Men don't really, men like the opposite of what a man is. A man is straight and muscular. Men love this, the curve, the waist, the hips, everything you see on a wine bottle. It's also the curve here that goes from your neck to your shoulder. If you're heterosexual, men they don't want a woman with a six-pack and muscular thighs and no breasts. That isn't appealing. They want the opposite of them. And we want the opposite of us. I wouldn't want to date a guy who was curvy and soft thighs and breasts. I go, oh, no, actually, no. Because we're hardwired to go for the opposite. So you've got to love who you are. And I get it that you wake up and go, no, look what's wrong with me. But you've got to start looking for what is right with you. And remember that what you focus on, you'll get more of. So the minute you focus on, oh no, you'll get more of it. And you have to focus on what's good, because you're training your mind to go into a state of appreciation. I'm so lucky to have this body. My body is someone else's fantasy dream come true.
I will try to remember that. We're going to have to take a quick break for the sports.
are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Podchaser, and Rumble. And thank you so much for coming and starting your day with me here at KCAA, the #1 talk news station in the Inland Empire. And thanks to you, I am the #1 8 a.m. talk show for the same area. And I'm so delighted to be able to talk about today body issues. And you heard my confession. I think I've worked on this my entire life, and I really enjoyed, and I hope you did too, some of Marisa Peer's suggestions on how to get over my body issues. So we had the video was just an excerpt of an interview we did a couple of months ago when she was in studio. And what I would like you to do is, if you're interested in that, go to my YouTube channel and go and watch the whole thing, because absolutely great ideas. And one of them that I know for sure that I'm going to try to do a little bit better on is not talking to myself or feeding my body in a mean way. So when she said the whole, you wouldn't feed a baby a Diet Coke and Pringles, that really hit home. Like sometimes the things that we put in our body, and it reminds me of this really good documentary, I think it's Fork Over Knives, something like that, that you can watch, that really looks at how our diet has been hijacked by what's popular and not good for our bodies. So I have begun to be a little more careful, but I saw it as punishment. I can't have this, I can't have that, I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't have that. And that really is not true. It is a choice. And I'm always talking to you about making good choices and choosing and making decisions on your own behalf. So my takeaway from that replay and spotlighting Marisa Peer is that to be nice to me, it's not just treating myself to a manicure pedicure. It's not just going to a movie. It's not just living in a nice place. Treating myself well includes what is good for my body. And that was a big aha. And that's why I wanted to spotlight this, because I don't want to continue to be ashamed of my body. I don't want to feel like I've that voice in my head that says, you've really let yourself go. And I know that I'm fighting the voices of my mom, you know, who said I was fat, ugly, and clumsy, and my husband, who introduced me as obese. And all of those are not true. And all of those are something that if I let my mind continue to say that, I'm definitely going to hurt myself. And I don't want to do that anymore. So that was a really, that was a great, I knew that would happen. So I wanted as many of you who are going through the same thing, and many women are feeling, hopeless about their bodies. So I'm also going to think that there's a guy out there who does think that, my rounded body, no longer bony like it was when I was modeling, will find me attractive that way. And that I think it's good for women to know and to remember that, I've been watching this, and I hate to admit it, I've been watching this reality series on Netflix called Love is Blind. And I normally don't watch The Bachelor and all those things, and I kind of make fun of people who do, and I'm going to stop doing that. But what I really love about that show is you can really make an emotional connection with someone without ever seeing them. And I think and I'll come clean on this, I'm so I choose with my eyes. And so I don't even bother. It's too much work to do this on any kind of app. So I stopped even trying that. But it is true that if we, and Marissa and I had this discussion afterwards as well, about, how she ended up with her husband. And, my tendency is to choose guys who are not, easy on the eyes. And maybe I'm not allowing that emotional connection first in order to get to know them and see if there's compatibility there before we actually see each other. So this is you're watching me grow and expand here on the 8th year of this show, and I'm at the risk of putting the moose on the table for myself, which is my Canadian expression for the elephant in the room. I'm glad that I can, I'm ageless, but I think what I love about life is that it's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending growth and expansion. You're never there. And in the words of one of my teachers, Abraham Hicks, you're never going to get it wrong, and you're never going to get it done. And that is definitely something that... All right, and that brings us to the end of today's show, number 659. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room, reminding you that it is all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Tomorrow, it's callers and compliments. So keep it here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Go forth and multiply the rest that you are and the loving yourself that you are. And have the best day ever.